Welcome back. What's happening with the 2017 budget? Senator Itainang and Honorable Chris Azubogo have been talking to us. Honorable, you did allude to bureaucratic alterations, which Senator Enang tried to clarify. Is it possible that in your position as the Deputy Chair Appropriations, such alterations could be going on without your knowledge? And then what's the guarantee, or do they actually come back to your table before our final transmission to the executive?
Thank you very much. What I'm talking of is not bureaucratic alterations, but I'm talking of corrections, like paginations, ensuring that things are organized well. These are bureaucracies that are going on. Not that the content of the document will be changed or the content of the budget. When we said that something is passed, I told you that it is in a hard print. The report that was passed by both houses were contained in a hard print. If, for example, that there are, misfiling or anything like the clerk, like Itainang mentioned earlier, these are the things I'm talking about. Trying to put the documents in a proper mode for transmission. Not that you change the content of what has been approved or authorized by the House. So when the House passes a content, any document, before transmission, I'm talking of bureaucracy, trying to organize and arrange what will be transmitted as contained in the vote and proceedings. If, like the reports that we have submitted, if the organizations of it or the paginations, maybe because of hurriedness in bringing out the final report, that it's not well organized, then the duty of the clerk of the National Assembly or both clerks for them to do is to organize the documents that will be transmitted from National Assembly, for it to be in a form and a mode. Just like you said, a document came from the Senate, and another document came from the House of Representatives, and by the time they compare it, I ensure that everything that is contained in it, both of them, they tally, because there was a conference.
Okay.
Even, the committees of both houses.
Okay, Honorable, this question is still directed to you. We are midway into the year. The issue of implementation once again raises its head. Will we ever get it right?
Come again?
The issue of implementation of the budget, we are almost 6 months gone in the year. Will we ever get it right?
Yeah, we'll ever get it right. I say it's a question of, it's not totally the duty of the Parliament. It is from both sides of the coin, Both executive and the National Assembly will continue to work on it until they get it right.
Okay, Senator Enang, the National Assembly has blamed the presidency for the late passage because it did not submit the budget in good time.
Well, the Assembly is not blaming because the budget was submitted on the 14th of December, and it was passed around the 13th of, or 12th or 13th of May. That's almost clearly 6 months then after. And of course, that I understand that the thinking was that there was a budget in place because the construction of the 2016 budget was that, and of course that is the same construction that is in the 2017 budget, that the budget will run a full course of 12 calendar months, commencing from the date on which it is assented to. And so you can see that everything, the executive was implementing the budget faithfully, and of course the executive took advantage of this extension to take advantage of the dry season construction of October to March, April. And we didn't really suffer. And of course, we're going to use this period to, after receiving the budget, to plan on the procurement, publications, analyzing the bids, and so on. So we're not blaming anybody, and we don't want to start now trading any words with the legislature.
Senator, now from the looks of things, we've settled into a May to May budget. There's no hope for a January to December implementation budget.
I wouldn't say so, because the legislature can, we will submit it early, but it is when we submit. If we submitted on the 14th of December and the legislature passed it on the on sometimes in January or February. We would have had a hope of returning to a January-December budget, But now it is not our fault, and we will live with the provision of the law. And we're not commenting on anything about the document because we have not received it yet. We're not commenting on anything because we've not received it yet. It is when we formally receive it and it is submitted to the president, that is when we will know the content of the document.
Okay, Senator Inang, a lot of questions are being raised on who will sign the 2017 budget. Who will sign this budget into law?
Who will assent?
I mean the question of who will assent to the budget.
Yes.
The budget will be transmitted to Mr. President, and the President will assent to the budget. The acting President is in office, and when the budget is transmitted, it will go through the processes, and all those other questions will answer itself.
The National Assembly has asked the acting president to appear it with statistics of 34 MDAs and present their budgets to it. How is the executive responding to this? Senator Inang.
Well, the resolution was taken today by the Senate, and the executive is very and absolutely law-abiding. Mr. President forwarded the budget of it was 37 agencies, not 34 agencies, to the Senate and the House of Representatives on the 30th of June last year. And the budget have been passed. Some have been passed by the House, some has been passed by the Senate, but it has not been harmonized to be transmitted to the executive, to enable the executive to forward it to the agencies, for the agencies to know which of the projects in those budgets have been approved and which one has not been approved. So they were just operating in anticipation. Now the year is due, and actually there were some documents in respect and compliance with the Fiscal Responsibility Act that were attached to the 2017 budget that were laid on the floor on the 14th of December. But it was not the budget of the respective agencies, but it was like a rolling plan of the different agencies. Now, the resolution having come, we will take, upon the passage of the vote and proceedings tomorrow, the decision will be transmitted to Mr. President, the acting president, and decision will be taken therefrom. But it's important to know, but it's not an excuse. I must say 3 times, it's not an excuse, and the 3rd time is not an excuse. But that the budgets of 2016 of the respective agencies, Central Bank, NNPC, NDIC, Communications Commission, have been passed. But inadvertently, again, there is something that is happening, which is legislatively and procedurally wrong. Some of the budget agencies, when the Senate passes the budget, they take the vote and proceedings of what was passed, and sometimes wrongly start implementing as if it had been passed.
Okay, all right, Senator.
The document is not passed.
Senator, and I'm afraid I'll have to cut you off there because we've run out of time. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Senator Ita Inang, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, and the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Appropriations, Honorable Chris Azubogu, for joining us on the program. Well, that's our show tonight. Thank you for being great company. On behalf of the team, I'm Imana Amawai. Join us on social media. Keep the conversation going. Bye-bye.